the weapon or device pursuant to MCL 750.239. Count 3, weapons, firearms, possession by a felon. Did possess a firearm with an illegible to do so. What are we doing?
Hold on, sorry.
It's only because you need my bond.
Are we good?
Okay,
Are we good?
I lost it.
All right, Mr. Melton, I'm going to recount 3 for you again. Weapons, firearms, possession by a felon. Did possess a firearm when ineligible to do so because he or she has been convicted of a larceny from a person, a specified felony, and the requirements for remaining eligibility have not been met, contrary to MCL 750.224F. This is a felony. It's 5 years and or a fine up to $5,000, mandatory forfeiture of the weapon or device pursuant to MCL 750.239. The court shall order law enforcement to collect DNA identification profiling samples before sentencing or disposition if not taken at time of arrest. Mr. Melton, do you understand the charges I read aloud to you?
No, ma'am.
And count 1, what is it that you don't understand? It's not that you didn't do it. It's, did you understand what I read out loud to you?
No, ma'am, I understand,
Javon,
but
Javon, do not make any statements regarding the case, please. I just need you to.
I'm not. No, sir. No, sir. I'm only answering the question that she just asked me.
Okay.
Ma'am, I was just booked up under conspiracy, not first degree. The officer is here to tell you that. That's why he's here. That's the only thing.
Do you want a minute to confer with the defendant?
Yes, because he's right here. The officer's right here, man.
No, that's not what I'm asking, Mr. Melton. I'm asking you for count 1, did you understand what I read out loud to you? It's not that you did it. Did you understand? Don't look at the detective, Mr. Melton. Look at me. Did you understand what I read out loud in count 1?
No, ma'am. Can you please read it out to me again, ma'am, please?
Count 1, homicide, murder, first degree, premeditated, did deliberately with the intent to kill and with the premeditation, kill and murder one Jason Foster, contrary to MCL 750.316. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, did you understand count 2, weapons, felony, firearm?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand count 3, weapons, firearms, possession by a felon?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Detective, can you give me a background, please?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm looking at Mr. Melton's CCH as well as the active warrants. He has an active warrant out of Roseville. He has an active warrant out of Ohio for ADW and felony firearm. He also is on probation at a Third Circuit Court where he has an active case for carjacking, felony firearm, assault with intent to rob while armed, and larceny from person. Looking at his CCH.
I've never been arrested in Ohio.
Looking at CCH, Your Honor. 2011, Mr. Melton pled guilty to felony firearm and larceny from a person. That was out of Third Circuit. Looks like he pled guilty in Third Circuit as well in 2013 to CCW. He has the active case in the Third Circuit right at 36th District Court. Has been bound over to the Third Circuit for home invasion, second degree, and RNC. That's currently his active case, Your Honor.
Detective, do you have a bond recommendation?
Yes, Your Honor. I think based on the nature of the charges, the fact that he is currently on probation, has active cases and active warrants out of other states, I would recommend a no bond with a tether as well, Your Honor.
Counselor, do you want to be heard on bond?
Yes, Your Honor. My client's 27 years old. He lives in Detroit. He's currently disabled and he's on disability. He has no children. All I'm asking for, Your Honor, is a bond. I think that the defendant is entitled to a reasonable bond. I'm asking the court to impose a reasonable bond in this matter.
Counselor, when you say reasonable, give me a monetary amount that you're looking for.
I'm requesting for maximum $100,000 cash assurity note with 10% a provision if the court would consider that.
I can't do that due to the fact what's alleged in count 1, it's life without parole. And then you have a felony in possession of a firearm. He's currently on probation out of 3rd Circuit. He has a warrant for his arrest in out of state, and then he has a warrant in a neighboring jurisdiction. The court's going to do a $2 million cash surety only. I am going to require a GPS tether.
Bond.
Well, it's done.
It's not done. Bond.
Mr. Melton.
Good luck.
There's lying on me, bro.
All right, Mr. Melton, you need to calm down. Sir, you're still living at 231 Phillip in Detroit?
Yes. Why y'all doing me like this, bro? Y'all doing that so I didn't get a bond.
Mr. Melton, we're going to do for your probable cause December 22nd at 1
Yes,
p.m.
ma'am.
Now, I
Yes,
am
ma'am.
requiring, don't walk away. Sir, should you be able to post a $2 million cash or a surety bond with the GPS tether? If the court finds out in any way that you remove the tether or you block the tether, the court will revoke your bond and you'll be remanded into custody until the matter is completed. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Mr. Melton, do you understand that?
Yes.
All right,
Yes.
good luck, sir.
Your Honor, before we finish, Mr. Melton does have ties down to Tennessee with that GPS tether. Can we put a condition that he is to be within the state of Michigan?
Yep, we'll leave, he can't leave the state of Michigan without the court's written permission.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I just did all that. What, bro? Then what do I got a warrant in Ohio? I've never been arrested, bro.
You want me to show you? I can show you.
Yeah, I've never been arrested in Ohio, bro. And you just said I'm on a 1st degree murder, bro. Y'all just booked me in on a conspiracy, bro.
I get the fight.
The fuck?
We want to do the other, we want to, okay.
Who's this one?
This is a, one of the other arraignments, which we can do unless you want to do
What's your
the,
last name?
McGee.
domestic.
Calling case number 20 EA 05822 Anthony Dwayne McGee. Mr. McGee, state your name for the record.
Anthony McGee.
Peter Torres here on behalf of Mr. McGee will waive formal reading. My client will stand mute. We'll ask the court to enter a plea of not guilty.
Mr. McGee, today's your date and time set to be formally arraigned. As your arraignment attorney indicated, I'm not going to be reading out loud what the alleged offenses are or what the potential penalties are. You are entitled to certain rights. You are entitled to a bench trial, jury trial. If you want any witnesses subpoenaed on your behalf, the court will go ahead and subpoena those witnesses. You're also entitled to have an attorney present at all future hearing dates, as well as any time law enforcement wants to interview you regarding these matters. If you're out on bond, probation, or parole, if you're found guilty of these charges or any lesser included offense, that could be deemed as a violation. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes.
Detective, does he have any holds?
None that I'm aware of, Your Honor. I just asked for no contact with the victim in this matter.
All right. Mr. McGee, the court's going to do a $5,000 personal bond. There is going to be a no contact provision. You're not to have any direct or indirect with Marion, M-A-R-I-A-N McGee. I'm sorry, Marion Smith. Not to return back to 18292 Oak. You're not to consume any alcohol, non-prescribed drugs, not to possess any weapons. It's knives and bullets. Not to leave the state of Michigan without the court's written permission. We'll do January 25th of next year at 8:30 in the morning. So you'll get a one-time visit to get personal belongings out. That has to be with the police escort. Do you understand that?
Yes.
If the
I went
Finds
through
out
it.
any way that you violate any of the conditions, the court will revoke your personal bond and remand you into custody until the matter's completed. Do you understand that?
Can I see them on my kids on Christmas or no?
You'd have to,
Third party, Your
Yeah.
Honor?
a third-party person would have to make the arrangements for you to get the kids.
Cousin, friend, aunt, uncle, something like that. Okay, sir?
Okay.
All right, we're all set.
Okay. Next guy.
Kim McGee is a pretrial. Sir, what's your last name?
Coffee, Coffey.
Get out, okay, Mr.
Calling case number 20 EA 05826. Michael Lamar Coffey. Sir, can you state your name for the record?
Michael Lamar Coffey.
Counselor,
Peter Torres here on behalf of the defendant. Will waive formal reading. My client will stay on mute. Ask the court to enter a plea of not guilty.
Mr. Coffey, today's your day and time set to be formally arraigned as your arraignment attorney indicated. I'm not going to be reading out loud what the alleged offenses are or what potential penalties are. You are entitled to certain rights. You are entitled to a bench trial, jury trial. If you want any witnesses subpoenaed on your behalf, the court will go ahead and subpoena those witnesses. You're also entitled to have an attorney present at all future hearing dates as well as any time law enforcement wants to interview regarding these matters. If you're out on bond, probation, or parole, found guilty of these charges or any lesser included offense, that could be deemed as a violation. Do you understand that, Mr. Coffey?
Yes.
Detective, does he have any holds?
None that I'm aware of, Your Honor. Leave the bond to the court's discretion.
Mr. Coffey, we're going to do a $5,000 personal bond. There is going to be a no contact provision. You're not to have any direct or indirect with Michaela, Mikala, Barney.
Okay.
Not to be near 19318 Roselawn in Detroit. No alcohol, non-prescribed drugs, no weapons. That includes knives and bullets. Not to leave the state of Michigan without the court's written permission. We're going to bring you back for a pretrial January 25th, 8:30 next year. Sir, mailing address 16830 of Juliana. Is that your proper mailing address?
Yes, correct.
All right, that's where your notices are going to get mailed to. Sir, make sure you don't violate any of the conditions. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck, sir.
All right.
You read my scribble. Sir, what's your last name?
Gray.
Calling case number 20 EA 05834 Darius Montez Gray. Mr. Gray, state your name for the record.
Darius Gray.
Counselor.
Peter Torres on behalf of the defendant will waive formal reading. My client will stay on mute.
Mr. Gray, today's your date and time set to be formally arraigned. As your arraignment attorney indicated, I'm not going to be reading out loud what the alleged offenses are or what potential penalties are. You are entitled to certain rights. You are entitled to a bench trial, jury trial. If you want any witnesses subpoenaed on your behalf, the court will go ahead and subpoena those witnesses. You're also entitled to have an attorney present at all future hearing dates, as well as any time law enforcement wants to interview you regarding these matters. If you're out on bond, probation, or parole, if found guilty of these charges or any lesser included offense, that can be deemed as a violation. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Detective, are there any holds?
None that I'm aware of, Your Honor. Monetary amount I'll leave to the court's discretion.
First, going to do a $5,000 personal bond. Mr. Gray, there is going to be a no contact provision. You're not to have any direct or indirect with Kelly, Kellie Davis.
Yes, ma'am.
Her address is 4518 Harding in Detroit. You're not to
Yes.
consume any alcohol, non-prescribed drugs, no weapons. That includes knives and bullets. Not to leave the state of Michigan with the court's written permission.
Okay.
We're going to bring you back for a pretrial January 25th at 8:30 in the morning, okay? Don't violate any of the conditions.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
She said January 25th.
You'll get paperwork before you go anywhere.
Okay.
Next guy?
What's your last name?
Davis.
On case number 20-8746, Joshua Aaron Davis. Detective, raise your right hand. You swear to tell the truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
You can state the facts for me.
Your Honor, on December 12, 2020, Officer McDermott with the East Point Police Department stopped a vehicle for improper license plate, which was registered to a Dodge Ram and affixed to a Mercedes-Benz. Upon stopping the vehicle, contact was made with the driver alone occupant, identified as Joshua Davis. He provided a Michigan ID card, as his Michigan operator's license is currently suspended. He was asked to exit the vehicle and arrested. In a search of his person, Officer McDermott found a bag of suspected crack cocaine in his right front pocket. Davis was transported to the East Point Police Department where he was lodged. Officer McDermott field tested the suspected cocaine with a positive result.
Court finds probable cause, sign the complaint and warrant. I do see that the complaint is signed. Mr. Davis, can you state your name for the record?
Joshua Aaron Davis.
Thank you, Counselor.
Your Honor, I'm unsure if this was a typo. It says the incident occurred on December 12th, and I think the detective mentioned something in October. So I just want to make sure that this complaint is accurate.
It is correct. Detective,
Yes.
what date are you showing that it occurred on?
December 12th, 2020. And that's what I have on my complaint.
Okay, unless I misheard him, I think he said October. I just want to make sure. And then he also
I said
mentioned,
December 12th, 2020.
okay, and then he mentioned a different detective, but this one says Puro. So I don't know if it's two different incidences.
You're swearing it out on behalf of Detective Puro, correct?
That is correct.
Yep. I
But-
find that there's, go ahead.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure, Your Honor, if I was hearing things, I think he said October. So I just want to make sure we're talking about the
Yeah.
same date incident before we do the
We are.
arraignment.
It's December 12th this year. I do find that there's probable cause, sign the complaint and warrant.
We can wait formal reading. My client will stand mute then. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Davis, today's your date and time set to be formally arraigned. Is the arraignment attorney indicated? I'm not going to be reading out loud what the alleged offenses are or what potential penalties are. You are entitled to certain rights. You are entitled to a bench trial, jury trial. If you want any witnesses subpoenaed on your behalf, the court will go ahead and subpoena those witnesses. You're also entitled to have an attorney present at all future hearing dates, as well as any time law enforcement wants to interview you regarding these matters. If you're out on bond, probation, or parole, if you're found guilty of these charges or any lesser included offense, that can be deemed as a violation. Do you understand that, Mr. Davis?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Detective, can you give me a background, please?
Your Honor, Mr. Davis is a traffic warrant out of the 31st District, Hamtramck, 2 out of the 30th District, Highland Park for traffic. Six out of Detroit, all for traffic, and 1 out of traffic, 45th District, Oak Park, Michigan State Police. It's criminal history. In 2015, Michigan State Police traffic offense warrant requested, no charge of judicial segment, Your Honor. And then 2020, Detroit, felony stolen property and a traffic release. Offense release, no prosecution. And in this case here, Your Honor, we're going to leave bond in amount in your discretion.
Thank you. Counselor, you want to be heard on bond?
Sounds to me like there's no criminal history, Your Honor, just some traffic warrants, and I'm asking for a 10% bond, maybe 10,000, 10%.
Okay. The court will do a 10,000 cash surety, 10% bond. We'll bring him back. We're gonna bring him back for his probable cause December 29th at 1 p.m. Mr. Davis, are you still living at 602 Mount Vernon in Detroit?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, sir, should you post, the next hearing is gonna be done via Zoom, okay?
Okay.
All right, good luck, sir.
So stand in front of the camera.
Go ahead, stand right in front of the camera.
I don't see a camera.
Right here. Right here.
Oh, this one's just gonna be a plea, Judge.
Sir, what's your last name?
SARP, Sarp.
Starks?
Yes.
Timothy Sarp, S-A-R-P.
Yeah,
Oh, Sarp. Is he under the influence, Pete?
Well, he's told me no, but that's one of my, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Mr.
He was
Sarp?
arrested. He was arrested yesterday at around 9 a.m. So if he was arrested at 9 a.m., then should be good.
Mr. Sarp, are you under the influence of anything?
no, ma'am.
Grown man style. I'm a grown man. That's how we do it.
When's the last time you had a drink of alcohol?
Probably yesterday. Day before yesterday.
How much did you consume?
A half pint.
Of what?
Fireball.
And you didn't, that's the only thing you've had is alcohol?
Yeah.
Do you feel you're under the influence now?
No.
No?
No.
You don't take any meds?
No.
Well, Counselor, I'm going to leave it up to you. Do you feel he's going to understand what the proceedings are, or?
It sounds like he does, Your Honor, and I think that at this point he wants to plead guilty to all 4 tickets.
Well, I'm not going to take the guilty plea because I can't ascertain. He's giving me symptoms that he's still under the influence of something.
I understand. And with, obviously, I respect that from the court. Just if he was picked up, it looks like at 9 a.m., at least 24 hours would have passed. So, but I'll leave it in the discretion of the court. It would have been 9 a.m. on the 13th, which was yesterday. That's what the ticket shows. So, whether or not that's when he was picked up. Sir, were you picked up in the morning yesterday?
9 a.m. I'm sure.
I don't really remember. I guess so.
Counselor, what I'm going to do, I'm going to pass on formally arraigning him. I will do an interim bond and have them administer a PBT prior to releasing him. At this point, I'm not comfortable calling case number 15EA 05470 Timothy J. Sharp, case number 15EA 05461 Timothy Sharp, case number 15EA 05460 Timothy Sharp, and case number 20EA 058238 Timothy Sharp.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Sir, I'm not going to arraign you today. Just go over there and knock on that door.
Stand over here, right here on the wall. You go in.
Do an interim or something on that.
Stand on what door? Just stand right.
Sir, what's your last name?
Frierson.
Well, there goes the PBT, so maybe.
Maybe we will get to arraign him. Do I have a detective in there?
Yeah, yes, Your Honor.
Yes.
Are you going to be swearing this one out, Detective Madonia?
No, that'll be Detective Wood. Just give him 1 minute, ma'am.
All right.
Go back in the cell.
Who is this, sir?
Frierson.
Okay.
For property.
I got it. He's the
Detective
co-defendant on
Arraignment.
Stark. He's the co-D on Starks, and Starks has the attorney that is in the waiting room.
All right. We'll do him first, and then we'll bring. Calling case number 20-8751, DeMarco, Ramel, Frierson. Detectives, you're still under oath. If you could state the facts for me.
On 12/12/2020, an armed robbery run came out at 16-110 Mile, which is Big Lots. The victim, Edward Stella, stated that after he was handed the money from DeMarco Frierson, he grabbed the PlayStation 5 from his hands and ran away. Stella stated that Roy Starks was counting the money in front of him, then handed him the bills. That's when Stella stated Frierson grabbed the PS5. Stella stated Frierson and Starks ran away after that. Frierson told the officers where they could recover the PS5. Photos of the fake bills and PlayStation were taken.
Court finds probable cause, sign the complaint warrant. I do see that the complaint is signed. Mr. Frierson, can you state your name for the record?
DeMarco, Romeo, Frierson Jr.
Thank you. Counselor?
Peter Torres here on behalf of the defendant. We can waive formal reading. My client will stand mute.
Mr. Frierson, today's your date and time set to be formally arraigned as your arraignment attorney indicated. I'm not going to be reading out loud what the alleged offenses are or what potential penalties are. You are entitled to certain rights. You are entitled to a bench trial, jury trial. If you want any witnesses subpoenaed on your behalf, the court will go ahead and subpoena those witnesses. You're also entitled to have an attorney present at all future hearing dates, as well as any time law enforcement wants to interview you regarding these matters. If you're out on bond, probation, or parole, if you're found guilty of these charges or any lesser included offense, that can be deemed as a violation. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Detective, can you give me a background, please?
He has no criminal history, Your Honor. I'll leave the monetary amount to you.
All right, Counselor, do you want to be heard on bond?
He's 17 years old, living with his mother and father, and I imagine that once he's released, he's probably going to have more problems with them, Your Honor. He's
I have
hold
a
on.
job.
Hold on. He's young. He has a job, and ultimately, he's probably going to be coming back to court. It shouldn't be an issue. I'm looking for a low bond, Your Honor. Preferably a $500, so maybe a $5,000, 10%.
Well, my only problem with that, Counselor, count one's 15 years, count two's 15 years, and I'm showing count six is life or any terms of years. I understand he's 17 years old, but I have a 6-count complaint in front of me.
I understand I'm sorry to interrupt. The allegations, as the court can see, is it's a PlayStation exchange.
Court's going to do a 10,000 cash surety, 10%.
Thank you.
We'll bring them back on the 29th. Sir, we're going to bring you back December 29th.
You said when, ma'am?
Okay. Stay right there. We're not done. You got to
All right,
come back
sorry,
for your
sorry.
probable cause December 29th at 1 o'clock. You still living at
Okay.
25840 Berkshire?
No, 28070 O'Neill.
What?
28070 O'Neill.
Spell it.
O'Neil.
What city?
Roseville.
What's the zip code?
48066.
All right. That's where your notice is going to get mailed to. You're headed down the wrong path, young man.
I know. I'm trying to change it all around. This is not what I
Yeah.
want.
You're going to have to do something. All right, we're all done with you.
Come on, buddy.
Just walk away.
We're gonna try this again. Come on.
Oh, give me the sap. We're going to try it again.
I'm trying to accommodate you here.
No, I need the blue file. Detective, did you administer a PBT to him?
Yes, he's all zeros, Your Honor.
All right.
Bingo.
Bingo, well, bingo.
All right.
He'd like to plead guilty, Your Honor, to be honest with you.
All right, let's see if we can get that far. Calling case number 20EA05823, Timothy Sarp. Case number 15EA05460, Timothy Sarp. Case number 15EA05461, Timothy J. Sarp. And case number 15 EA 05470. Timothy J. Sharp. Sir, can you state your name for the record?
No.
Well, you have to, sir. So go ahead and state your name.
Timothy J. Sharp.
There you go.
God damn.
Counselor.
Peter Torres here on behalf of Mr. Sarp. We can waive formal reading on all 4 tickets. My client will end up pleading guilty to all 4 tickets if the court will accept that plea.
Counselor, I'm not going to accept the guilty plea
Okay.
today. All right.
Thank you.
Mr. Sarp, today's your day and time set to be formally arraigned. You are entitled to certain rights. You are entitled to a bench trial, jury trial. If you want any witnesses subpoenaed on your behalf, the court will go ahead and subpoena those witnesses. You're also entitled to have an attorney present at all future hearing dates, as well as any time law enforcement wants to interview you regarding these matters. If you're out on bond, probation, or parole, found guilty of these charges or any lesser included offense, that could be deemed as a violation. Do you understand that, sir?
Yeah, no.
You understand that, right?
Yes.
Case number 20 EA 05823.
Right.
Listen.
First thing, do a 5,000 cash surety, 10%.
10,000 cash.
No, it's 5,000.
Shit, man.
We're gonna bring it back January 11th. Right, yeah. At 8:30 in the morning. On case number 15 EA 0456, I'm gonna let you go on a $2,500 personal bond.
It's 5460, correct?
Yes,
Oh, okay, good.
sorry. We're gonna bring you back the same day, January 11th, 8:30 in the morning.
Sure, ma'am. I'll be here with bells on.
Awesome. Case file 15 EA 05461, I'm gonna let you go on a $2,500 personal bond. We're gonna bring you back January 11th, 8:30 in the morning. And finally, case number 15 EA 05470, I'm gonna let you go on a $2,500 personal bond. We're gonna bring you back for your pretrial January 11th at 8:30 in the morning. Sir, do you have any questions? I see you're sleeping on me.
No, I don't have no questions.
All right, good. Good luck.
Yeah, thanks.
Just follow in. Next guy, what's your name? Tolbert. Stand right here. Judge and attorney are right up there.
What's your last name, young man?
Tolbert.
Calling case number 19-11237. Jerel Malcolm Tolbert. Sir, state your name for the record.
Jerel Malcolm Tolbert.
Counselor.
Peter Torres here on behalf of Mr. Tolbert. Will waive formal reading. My client will stand mute.
Mr. Tolbert, today's your day and time set to be formally arraigned as your arraignment attorney indicated. I'm not going to be reading out loud what the alleged offenses are or what potential penalties are. You are entitled to certain rights. You are entitled to a bench trial, jury trial. If you want any witnesses subpoenaed on your behalf, the court will go ahead and subpoena those witnesses. You're also entitled to have an attorney present at all future hearing dates, as well as any time law enforcement wants to interview you regarding these matters. You're also entitled to have a probable cause conference held within 21 days from today's date if you're out on bond, probation, or parole and found guilty of this charge or any lesser included offense. That could be deemed as a violation. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Detective, can you give me a background, please?
He has no criminal history, Your Honor. I'll leave the bond to your discretion.
Counselor?
The 19 case, he lives in East Point with his parents. He's only 21 years old. I'm looking for a very low bond, Your Honor. I think it's appropriate.
All right, court will do a 7,500 cash surety, 10%. We'll bring him back for his probable cause conference December 29th at 1 p.m.
Thank you.
Tolbert, do you have any questions?
No, ma'am. Thank you.
You Yep, good luck.
Miss Coleman, I think, is the last one. Shana Coleman.
How you doing?
Oh,
What is your name?
Starks. Roy Starks.
Hold on, we gotta do
Is
Miss
it
Coleman
Starks? Who's
first.
this?
he
This is
has
Starks.
the.
Miss Coleman is here. He's
Miss
got his
Coleman.
own attorney, right?
Where did you
Yeah.
put my attorney? She's gone. Where's she be?
In your waiting room?
Would you like to do Miss Coleman first?
No, we'll do him. We're bringing the attorney in now.
This is the
Okay.
co-defendant on Fergus or Frierson, Your Honor, just so you're aware.
Counselor, can you hear me?
Good afternoon.
All right, calling case number 20-8750, Roy Chester Starks. Mr. Starks, state your name for the record.
Roy Chester Starks.
Counselor, if you could state your name for the record and do your P number, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. Carla Marable, P number 62755 on behalf of Mr. Stark.
Counselor, are you waiving formal reading?
Yes, Your Honor. We're waiving the formal reading and standing mute.
All right, thank you. Mr. Starks, today's your date and time set to be formally arraigned as your retained attorneys indicated. I'm not going to be reading out loud what the alleged offenses are or what the potential penalties are. You're entitled to certain rights. You're entitled to a bench trial, jury trial. If you want any witnesses subpoenaed on your behalf, the court will go ahead and subpoena those witnesses. You're also entitled to have your attorney present at all future hearing dates, as well as anytime law enforcement wants to interview you. You're also entitled to have a probable cause conference held within 21 days from today's date. If you're out on bond, probation, or parole, and you're found guilty of these charges or any lesser included offense, that could be deemed as a violation. You understand that, sir?
Yes.
Detective, can you give me a background, please?
Your Honor, he has no criminal history. I'll leave the bond to your discretion.
All right, Counselor.
If I may, Your Honor, he has no prior criminal history whatsoever. He's 17. He's in his senior year and he's set to graduate this particular year. He is applying to colleges. He does have, he has worked at his family business. He does live there and have very strong support. We're asking for a personal bond with a tether and home confinement.
Why would he need a tether? Why are you requesting a tether?
Well, the reason why we was because it is an unarmed robbery case, and I assume that the court will want to know exactly where he's at all times. In lieu of cash, we would just ask for a tether.
All right. Court will do a 7,500 personal with a GPS tether.
Mhm.
Young
Thank
man, are
you,
you doing virtual school?
Yeah, I'm doing virtual school.
Regular school, you're going physically to school?
Well, this trimester I'm doing virtual. Next trimester I'm going in physical, depending on COVID.
Your Honor, I think all of the schools are virtual, even the private schools. My kids go to Detroit Country Day, and I think all of the schools are virtual now.
Not all of them now. Young man, are you working?
Yes, I am.
What days do you work?
I usually work 4 days a week, sometimes 5, but usually 4.
And what time do you work?
What time? I usually work from after school, probably like 3 o'clock till 8 o'clock, 3 o'clock till 9, depending on the time. It don't depend on the weekend, stuff like that.
All right, you're only gonna be able to leave the house for employment purposes, and you are gonna have to show proof that you're driving to and from. Do you understand that?
Yes.
If
What
you get
about
caught driving outside those parameters, your bond's gonna be revoked. Do you understand that?
Okay. Yes. Can I ask a question?
No, hang on. Counselor, you wanna waive the 21 days?
Yes, we will wait the 21 days.
Christie, what date?
Your Honor, the only issue with that is it's going to split up the co-defendants, which for scheduling purposes, you might want to just double check it.
$4,000.
Sorry for chiming in, but
That's all right. We'll do 12/29. Counselor, is that good for you?
That's
It'll
fine,
be
yeah.
At 1 o'clock.
Okay, the
Young man.
29th, the 29th
Counselor,
of
I think
December
your
at 1
client
o'clock.
has a question. Wait, don't go.
I'm not. It'll be virtual, Your Honor, correct?
I think your client has a question.
Okay,
Yeah.
but no, the 29th court date will be virtual, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Sir, Mr. Starks, what is your question?
I'm scheduled to have like a dentist appointment for my teeth. Can I leave for that or no? I can't. I won't be able to leave for that.
Now, I'll do employment and medical. You're gonna need documentation to and from.
Okay.
All right, do you understand that?
Yes.
So,
All right.
can I just say this, because I always want to make sure that clients are clear. That means that everywhere you go, Mr. Stark, you're going to need legitimate documentation unless your bond will be taken. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And I will talk to you soon. Thank you, Your Honor.
Miss. Last but not least.
Hello,
And what's your name?
Shana Coleman.
Calling case number 20-8469. Shana Sensimilia Coleman,
Cecilia Coleman, yes.
counselor.
I gotta swear this out, Your
All
Honor.
right, Judge.
Oh, yep.
I knew that.
On 12/13, East Point,
Go ahead.
12/13/2020, East Point Police Department was sent to a disorderly person complaint at 15003 9 Mile, which is 7-Eleven. Upon their arrival, the officers observed the suspect vehicle leaving without headlights and traveling at a high rate of speed. Officers stopped the vehicle at 9 and Oakwood and made contact with Coleman. Officers could smell an odor of intoxicants. Officers had Coleman perform sobriety evaluations, and she performed poorly. A PBT showed a .12 blood alcohol. Coleman was arrested and transported to EPD. A data master breath test was given, and the results were a .12 and a .12. Shana has a prior conviction for impaired driving in the 38th District Court on 7/31/2015.
Clerk finds probable cause, sign the complaint warrant. I do see the complaint is signed. Counselor, now you can put your name on the record.
Peter Torres here on behalf of the defendant. We'll waive formal reading. My client will stay in mute. Ask the court to enter a plea of not guilty.
Thank you. Ma'am, today's your date and time set to be formally arraigned as your arraignment attorney indicated. I'm not going to be reading out loud what the alleged offenses are or what potential penalties are. You are entitled to certain rights. You are entitled to a bench trial, jury trial. If you want any witnesses subpoenaed on your behalf, the court will go ahead and subpoena those witnesses. You're also entitled to have an attorney present at all future hearing dates, as well as any time law enforcement wants to interview you regarding these matters. For count one, operating while intoxicated, should you be found guilty of that charge or any lesser included offense, Secretary of State will take licensing sanctions. If you're out on bond, probation, or parole, if you're found guilty of these charges or any lesser included offense, that could be deemed as a violation. Do you understand that, Ms. Coleman?
Yes, ma'am.
Detective, can you give me a background, please?
Your Honor, she has a couple prior entries on her criminal history, all involving driving. Obviously, the one prior conviction for an alcohol offense. I'm not so much concerned about the monetary amount. Just an alcohol tether would be sufficient.
Okay, Counselor?
I would agree, Your Honor. Personal bond is what I'm asking for. Obviously, the court's probably going to impose a scram tether unit. And she has children she takes care of, and that should suffice. Thank you.
All right, court will do a $5,000 personal bond. I am going to require a scram tether. Ms. Coleman, if the court finds out any way that you block the scram tether or remove the scram tether without a court order, your bond's going to be revoked and you're going to be remanded into custody until the matter is concluded. Do you understand that, Ms. Coleman?
Yes.
Ma'am, you still living at 18527 Bender in Detroit?
Yes.
All right, that's where your new notice will get mailed to, okay?
Okay. So, do I get the tether
You gotta bring a date.
Before you can leave, you have to get this.
Thank you. So, there's no bond.
Yeah.
I think, is that it, Your Honor?
No, we got one more.
Oh, right.
Detective Shower, is you in there?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, calling case number 20-8762. Delania Michelle Howell. Detective, you're still under oath. If you could state the facts.
Yes, Your Honor. On 12/9/20, Jason Foster was shot while sitting in his vehicle in front of his residence at 21762 Range. Foster was a suspect in the homicide of Jonas Williams in Detroit on 12/8/20. 3 suspect vehicles were captured on video during the shooting. Javon Melton was arrested in possession of one of the suspect vehicles, and a .40 caliber handgun was recovered at the residence he was seen at, with bullets matching the shell casing recovered at the scene. Melton confessed to being at the shooting and named other suspects, which was confirmed through cell phone data. Foster's child's mother, Delania Howell, Williams' brother Jermaine Hunt, and other associates are named in the shooting.
Excuse me, the court finds probable cause, sign the complaint warrant. I do see the complaint is signed. Ms. Howell, can you state your name for the record?
Delania Michelle Howell.
Counselor?
Sure, Your Honor. Peter Torres here on behalf of the defendant, and I'll just ask the court to read the charges into the record.
Sure. Ms. Howell, it's alleged on or about December 9th of this year in the city of East Point, you have a 1-count complaint, count 1, homicide, murder, first degree, premeditated, did deliberately with the intent to kill, and with premeditation, kill and murder one Jason Foster, contrary to MCL 750.316. This is a felony. It's life without parole. DNA to be taken upon arrest. Court shall order law enforcement to collect DNA identification profiling samples before sentencing or disposition, if not taken at arrest. Ms. Howell, do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Howell, you're also entitled to certain rights. You're also entitled to a bench trial, jury trial. If you want any witnesses subpoenaed on your behalf, the court will go ahead and subpoena those witnesses. You're also entitled to have an attorney present at all future hearing dates, as well as any time law enforcement wants to interview you regarding these matters. You're also entitled to have a probable cause conference held within 21 days from today's date. If you're out on bond, probation, or parole, if you're found guilty of this charge or any lesser included offense, that could be deemed as a violation. Do you understand that, Ms. Howell?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Detective, can you give me a background?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm taking a look at Ms. Delania's CCH. I'm not showing any prior criminal history. She does have an active traffic warrant on a Grosse Pointe. Based upon the seriousness of the offense, Your Honor, and conversations that we've had with her during interviews, Ms. Howell has stated that she wants to leave the state of Michigan in fear for her safety. I would ask, based upon the seriousty nature of the offense, the bond be significantly high, and there would be a GPS tether with conditions not to leave the state.
Hey, Counselor, do you want to be heard on bond?
Yes, Your Honor. She's 30 years old and she resides in Detroit, Michigan. She graduated from high school and it was in Atlanta, Georgia, but she also has significant ties to Michigan because her mother does live here as well. So she's been going back and forth. She has 3 children, ages 5, 5, and 3 years old. And just like the detective said, she has no criminal history. I don't think a very high bond is necessary in this situation. I'm asking for a reasonable bond. And if the court asks, I'm looking for $100,000, a cash surety or 10%. Obviously, a GPS tether may be something that the court would need, but I'm not asking for that at this time.
All right. Due to the fact what's alleged in count 1, it is a life offense, and the seriousness of that, and based off of from what Detective Showers has indicated, that she wants to leave the state of Michigan, the court is going to do a high bond of $1 million. They will require a GPS tether. Should she be released, we'll bring her back.
Do that to me.
Sure. 20 seconds.
I won't go anywhere, please.
It's going to bring you back, ma'am, December 22nd at 1 p.m. That's cash surety only. Ma'am, and just to confirm, mailing address for you is 3626 Wayburn Street.
5775 McClellan.
All right, say that again.
5775 McClellan.
Spell it.
McClellan.
And what's the zip code?
48213.
Detroit. All right, ma'am, good luck.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thanks, Pete.
Thank you. We'll see you guys. Anything else? Are we good?
We're good.
Okay. Have a good day, guys. See ya.
You too.
Hold on.
Oh, you're shutting it off?
No, you were messing.
I know, you were moving stuff was flashing.
I know, is there any way to undo that? That's just so. Yeah, what was the point in doing that? Like, I don't understand.
For what?
This mirroring stuff, like, 'cause then if she's messing with it, you can't do anything with it and vice versa.
No, stuff flashes, stuff was prompting up.
That's what I'm saying, it's pointless. Why can't she have her own mouse and you have your own? Why did we mirror this? Why was that setup done?
Because
I don't get
we
it.
couldn't get GIS on both. Wasn't that what it was, Christy?
I don't remember. I wasn't here, so I don't remember what exactly.
Well, I have all these people in the room. Razzle dazzle, now you gotta go back on.
Who does?
You,
Why?
because we gotta do those swear tos for
What
the
swear
trooper.
He's not in there yet, so.
I thought we just did them.
No, this is to the trooper. Hey, can you look this name up?
Yeah. Hang on.
Okay, it's a long name.
Okay, me, go.
Nobouphasavanh.
First name?
Dina.
Dina?
Dina. Deanna.
Deanna?
Yeah.
No. I got a Gina
With that name?
with the last name, and then yeah.
All right, hang on, let me admit them.
I'm gonna sneak out really quick and try to call the hospital.
Okay.
Apparently Mike's blowing his sister out to come home, come pick him up.
Ma'am, I need a first and a last name.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I need a first and a last name.
It's Pontisac Nobupasavan. It's for my dad. He's next to me.
Can you give me the court date?
Do you need video on?
No, no.
12/23.
I'm sorry.
12/23 at 2.
Ma'am, you're on the wrong date. It's 12:23 at 2 o'clock. Your dad needs to dial in
12/23.
at 2 o'clock.
Okay. Thank you
All
very
right.
much.
You're welcome. How about can you look up another? Last of Reiner, Rineer.
Okay, first name?
Kyle, Kyle.
He was scheduled for a Zoom hearing back on December 4th at 3. That was the last entry I'm showing.
And there's nothing for today.
No. It's not showing that.
Kyle? Hi, your court date was December 4th. You missed it. A notice was mailed out.
Oh,
So call the court, okay?
okay.
All right, good luck.
Thank you.
He goes. That woman was freaking tall.
What woman?
For the premeditated. She was as big as shoulders.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Shoulder to shoulder.
Damn.
Big woman.
That was a rough situation, man. Wow. And now she's in fear for her life?
They all are.
Why is she in fear for her life?
Well, because retaliation. I'm sure someone on the victim side now will try and.
You know what? And she's got 3 kids. That's my favorite part.
Wait, oh God.
So like, where do those kids get to go?
Not my problem.
You know what I mean?
Carrie and Fuka. Oh my God.
Yeah, my feelings exactly. I'm tired.
Who the fuck is Cisco now?
Transcript. Gotta wash my hair.
Oh.
Can you hear me?
Yep, hang on 1 minute. I don't have those files. Can you call Nikki and say bring me down the trooper's house?
I thought Christy was going to get them, but I could be wrong.
I think she was stepping outside.
Okay, hang on. What do I have Nikki in there?
Nikki
What's her last name?
Williams.
Yes. Hi, Karen wants to know if you can bring down the files for the trooper. Oh, she's got them? That's what I said, but Karen.
I don't have them. Who has them?
Costello and Atkins.
I don't have them. She took them.
Okay, so maybe Krista took them outside while she's smoking. I don't know, we don't have them. Oh, I don't have them. We'll find them. All right, thanks.
I never saw the files because she said he had to refax them.
Okay. No problem.
Chrissy, do you have
Thanks,
the
bye, babe.
troopers' files?
That's a trooper's file on your desk.
I don't know.
No, she walked in front of there and said she was going to.
Perfect place for that to be, and you don't do that.
Do you have the trooper files? Fine. Jan?
No.
Get on.
What are we doing right now?
Swear tos.
What?
Swear tos.
For a trooper?
Yeah.
I want to properly head it. On the trooper thing?
I'll have him do it on the record.
Thank you very much.
Trooper, you want to do Atkins first?
That works, Your Honor.
All right, calling case number 20-2921, Dale Edward Atkins. Trooper, raise your right hand. You swear to tell the truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
If you could spell your first name, last name, and what post you're out of.
Trooper Tom Mathis, that's TOMMATHIS, out of the Metro North Post, in Oak Park.
Go ahead and state the facts.
Your Honor, on 3/12 of 2020, in the area of westbound 8 Mile Road in Crusade, trooper stopped the suspect vehicle in a silver Ford Fusion for no insurance. Trooper made contact with the driver. A verbal consent search of the vehicle was performed, at which time a small twist-off bag with a white powdery substance was located on the front passenger seat where Dale Edward Atkins was sitting. He did claim ownership of that container. That powdery substance was sent to the lab. It came back positive for presence of cocaine.
All right, the court finds probable cause, sign the complaint. I do see that you've already signed it. Trooper, do you want that entered into lien?
Yes, ma'am, please.
All right. And then we'll do Petrat.
Yes, ma'am.
Calling case number 19-11234, David Arthur Petrat. Trooper, you're still under oath. If you could state the facts for me.
Trooper Mathis, Michigan State Police, Your Honor. On May 23rd of 2019, in the area of southbound Gratiot Avenue near Forest Street, trooper stopped the suspect vehicle for failing to maintain his lane. Upon making contact, the driver was ID'd by his mission ops as David Arthur Petrat. When trooper approached the vehicle, he observed Mr. Petrat attempting to conceal suspected narcotics in the driver's seat. Mr. Petrat was removed from the vehicle and detained. Suspected narcotics was retrieved by the trooper. It was a baggie containing 17 pills of suspected ecstasy. Those pills were sent to the MSP lab. Results came back as methamphetamine and alprazolam.
Okay. Court finds probable cause, sign the complaint warrant. I do see the complaint is signed. Trooper, you want this entered into lien?
Yes, please.
We'll enter it. And then we'll do Vandergraaf.
Yes, ma'am.
Calling case number 20-2678, Kiane Keionne Thompson Vandergraaf. Trooper, you're still under oath. If you could state the facts.
Trooper Mathis, Michigan State Police. Your Honor, on August 27th, 2019, in the area of 8 Mile Road near Gratiot Avenue, troopers conducted a traffic stop on a vehicle for an expired registration. The suspect vehicle was then observed to pull into the median and turn around before coming to a stop in the left lane of eastbound 8 Mile Road. The driver was contacted at the driver's window, and after a short verbal interaction, disregarded verbal commands and fled from the traffic stop in his vehicle. The driver and sole occupant of the vehicle was identified and confirmed to be the registered owner of the vehicle. The registered owner and driver was identified, and the identity was confirmed through SOS image and snap image as Keionne Thompson Vandergraaf. Lien showed Vandergraaf to be currently suspended with 16 current suspensions. Also showed him to be operating a motor vehicle without securities. He had active warrants for his arrest at the time of the stop.
Okay, the court finds probable cause, sign the complaint warrant. I do see the complaint is signed. The court will go ahead and enter that into lien.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And then finally, case number 20-6655, Mario Castillo. Trooper, you're still under oath. If you could state the facts for me.
Trooper Mathis, Michigan State Police. Your Honor, on September 6th of 2020, in the area of Gratiot Avenue, 10 Mile Road, trooper stopped the suspect vehicle for no registration plate. The driver was contacted. He was ID'd by his Michigan ID card as Mario Castillo. He was arrested, searched, and checked through lien and found to be operating with no operator's license.
All right, the court finds probable cause, sign the complaint and warrant. We'll go ahead and enter that into lien as well. And that's all I have for you, Trooper.
Thank you, Your Honor. You have a good day.
You too.